My men! My brothers! We have waited ages, in fact, decades for this very moment. At this perfect chance to live out our grandfather's dream of conquering the world.
It is our destiny to fulfill his dream and follow in his footsteps.
Look at those magnificent cities across the Volga. Their wealth must be immense. I can't even begin to imagine just how much our people benefit from this vast world of wealth.
Yes, we must take these cities, but ensure that everything is strategized perfectly. Here in this unfamiliar land, we need to move past our tradition of blindly conquering. It is imperative that we begin our grand invasion by stealthily crossing the Volga River.
What is our plan to conquer Kiev, though? It is an extremely well-defended city, and hundreds of miles from our current position.
Enough of this discussion. We are prepared to fight, to conquer, to do what Genghis expected of us all.
Orda, I appreciate your dedication, but this attack cannot be brash. I agree that we need to take action now, but I will lead. I may not know this land and these people, but given my experience, I should be the one taking our warriors into battle. The great men of the Golden Horde, prepare yourselves for the battles of your lives and for the greatness of the vast Mongol Empire. Charge onward! From birth, Genghis Khan was destined to be a warrior, symbolized by a blood clot in his hand upon exiting the womb. His father died while he was at a young age by being poisoned, leading Genghis to rule his group of nomads. Wife stealing was common in the Asian steppe, and this happened to Genghis, creating a desire for revenge. Genghis and his army developed distinct military techniques to outsmart his enemies. He started attacking other nomads using these techniques and remained undefeated. He and his army then attacked large cities, including Shanghai and Constantinople. They started the manufacturing of siege machines to deal with walls and gunpowder technology developed by China. Upon the capturing of a city, he would steal their ideas and use them in battle. When he died, he set the foundation of the Mongol Empire for his future sons and grandsons, who continued his legacy. His last words were, "I've conquered for you a large empire, but my life was too short to take the whole land. That I leave to you." This inspired the next generation of warriors to continue his legacy of conquering the world. The legacy of Genghis Khan. Although the Mongolian legend conquered vast amounts of land throughout the entirety of Eurasia, his true goal of taking over the world was not met, and for that he was extremely regretful. However, he had left his sons and grandsons in a great position of success, which paved the way for a future of further Mongolian dominance. In an attempt to make Genghis' wish come true, they conquered areas in Asia and Eastern Europe like Russia, China, Korea, Persia, and India. As they conquered new lands, they expanded the Mongolian Empire to its greatest. While Genghis' dream of conquering the world was never fulfilled, his sons and grandsons allowed the empire to grow to become the biggest it's ever been. They followed the words of Genghis, saying, "Conquering the world on horseback is easy. It is dismounting and governing that is hard." The descendants of Genghis Khan. Determined to follow Genghis Khan's legacy, his descendants became fierce conquerors and effective leaders and further established the territorial expansion of the Mongolian Empire. Genghis' death in 1227 did not mean the end of the Mongols' victory. Over time, new military tactics and the discovery of additional land in Eastern Europe, as well as Russia, allowed Genghis' children and grandchildren to advance with the power and speed feared by many. In 1229, Genghis Khan's son Ogadel Khan became emperor of the Mongolian Empire and launched campaigns into Eastern Europe, setting the stage for invasions into the area during his rule. Meanwhile, Genghis' other son Jochi was waging war against the Kievan Rus. Later, Genghis Khan's grandson Batu Khan led 40,000 of Mongolia's warriors across the Volga River in 1240. A force to be reckoned with, Batu Khan established the second capital of Sarai on the Volga River, controlling the former Kievan Rus while drastically reforming its economy and politics. The context of the Mongol invasion of Eastern Europe and Russia. By the 1220s, the Kievan Rus had been experiencing defragmentation and destability for decades and were extremely weakened. As a result, when the Mongols first invaded in 1224, the Rus were immediately overwhelmed and were quickly defeated. However, luckily for them, the Mongols decided to retreat back east. But 13 years later, by 1237, Batu and Orda Khan had returned with more than 40,000 men with the intention of fully conquering the vast kingdom of the Rus and expand even further west, all the way to Hungary and the Holy Roman Empire. Within 3 years, the Eastern European forces were completely destroyed and now under the iron rule of the Mongols. Through their years of intense fighting and campaigns, the region was largely razed and turned into an unrecognizable landscape. The surviving European political entities were forced to pay them tribute and act as their satellite states. But with time, the Mongol Empire's grip on Europe was severely weakened and soon disappeared by the end of the 13th century.